Hello everyone, it has certainly been a hot minute. Sorry for the hiatus. Going forward, I can't schedule exact dates for most videos, instead they'll be released when they're done. Anywho, it is May, meaning that it is Jewish History Month. To celebrate, I created the 5th installment on my countdown series with the top 10 most influential Jews in history. No, I didn't include all what's-her-face in here. Enjoy! Number 10, Groucho Marx. Being an icon in his own right, with those bushy eyebrows and glasses being their own symbol, Groucho Marx is an instantly recognizable figure. Being a founding member of the quick wit style of comedy, Groucho had a unique ability to quickly whip crowds into laughter.
Haven't we seen each other somewhere before?
I don't think so. I'm not sure I'm seeing you now. It must be something I ate.
I'll see you at the theater tonight. I'll hold your seat till you get there. After you get there, you're on your own.
Groucho Marx would inspire future generations of comedians like the movement of improv we see today. Number 9, Harry Houdini. Son of a devout Hungarian rabbi, no intro is needed to the greatest magician in history. Houdini defied the mysticism and supernatural styles of magicians of his era, being frustrated with spiritualists that he called con artists. In addition, he never patented his tricks, so many of his secrets remain secrets. Houdini traveled the world, performing public spectacles like his chain escapes and water tank shows. Houdini popularized magic to become the mainstream industry it is today. For more on his life, see my biography above. Number 8, Steven Spielberg. Bridging the end of boring black and white movies and into the thrilling world of modern special effects, Spielberg is a force to be reckoned with in the cinema world. Spielberg set the course of future movies by implementing effects which would capture the attention of his audiences in a who's who of films. Jaws, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Indiana Jones, E.T., and king of them all, our Lord and Savior, Papa Shrek. Spielberg is the one who makes us want to watch movies. Number 7, Niels Bohr. Known to anyone who has studied chemistry, Bohr is a name to know. Niels created the iconic planetary model, displaying how electrons orbit the central nucleus, socially distancing like it's COVID for atoms. For this, Bohr would be known as the father of quantum physics and receive the Nobel Prize. In addition, Niels advocated for Jewish refugees fleeing Nazi Germany during the Holocaust, negotiating their asylum in Sweden. Number 6, Sigmund Freud. What do you think about that name? How does that name affect your emotions? These are the questions Freud would bring to science, wielding the creation of a new field of study, psychoanalysis. The forebearer of this study, Freud dispelled all sorts of accepted ideas of the time. He studied the development of the mind, the meaning of dreams, what egos are, contributed to neurology, and inspired the modern trade of therapy. All this cements his name as one to whom we owe so much. Number 5, David BenGurion. Some may not know his name, but all know what he created. After the effects of the Holocaust, Jews became a further scattered group, a diaspora. Gurion wanted to see an end to this, a vision of a place for Jews to have a safe place where sites of their heritage would lie. This was Zionism, and led to his greatest accomplishment, the creation of the modern state of Israel. He would serve as its first president. Number 4, Anne Frank, a tragic example of what can be done to document evils even if the worst becomes a reality. Anne Frank brought the world's eyes open on what Jews call the Shoah, or calamity in Hebrew, the Holocaust. In 1942, the Franks fled to an attic of a kind Samaritan in Amsterdam. There, she documented the struggle of surviving the daily persecution of invading Nazis. Ultimately, after 2 years in hiding, someone ratted out her and her family to the Gestapo, the Nazi police. Frank would be killed in 1945 in the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, months before the Nazi surrender and end of World War II. Her diaries live on to tell the harrowing experiences of just one Jew during those trying times. Number 3, Albert Einstein. You don't need to be Einstein to know who Einstein is. As Gen Z says, he is definitely a big brain. Over his decades-long career, Einstein's 1905 theory of relativity, stating that gravity is a warping of space, not an invisible force of attraction per se, confounded physicists for years. He also reinforced understanding of every chem student's worst nightmare, Avogadro's number, the number of atoms in a unit. His discoveries would lead to calculus advances and aid the development of the computer and laser. Number 2, Karl Marx. Though he held his and basically all other religions in as much regard as we do YouTube Rewind, Marx couldn't escape his Jewish heritage. Frustrated with the sluggish system of capitalism across Europe and the ignorant rule of lame monarchies, Marx reached a breaking point while in exile in London after setting off the capitalist elites of mainland Europe. While in London in February of 1848, Marx released the Communist Manifesto, calling on workers to overthrow the system which failed them, to seize the means of production, to create a communist utopia, crush capitalists and monarchy, collectivize agriculture, and have mean dictators, except the last part. Marx would probably have felt like his life was for nothing had he seen how just about all communist nations which would rise, like the Soviet Union, China, North Korea, and Vietnam, would be dominated by a law and order dictator rolling over a broken system with stinky peasants breaking their backs in communist backwaters. Marx's influence lives on in the historical impact that communism has had on this world and in the nations which still embrace his ideas to this day. And now, my contender for the most influential Jew in world history. Coming at number 1, it is Abraham. Imagine you became a passing reference in history, a story pushed aside for millennia, to not know that 4,000 years later, half the planet, 3.8 billion people, would hold your beliefs, customs, and traditions in 3 religions across 7 continents. Abraham lived around 2100 BCE in what is now Iraq. He lived in the ruined city of Ur, known for its discount pyramids called ziggurats, and where the name Iraq comes from. While living there, stories of his life were collected in the Torah, the Jewish holy text, thus founding Judaism. A schism in Judaism around 70 CE led to Christianity. Then, his message was said to carry to a prophet named Muhammad in Mecca, founding Islam. Thus, the Abrahamic faith developed from his original story. That's quite the legacy, I must say. And with that was my top 10 most influential Jews in history. What a role Jews have played in the development of things from 2100 BCE all the way to the present. Happy Jewish History Month. Thanks for watching.